So what I'm going to cover in this tutorial is wall sweeps and then how to create our profiles for these wall sweeps. So really quickly, in a nutshell, a wall sweep is a profile that is extruded along and swept along a wall. So think of your base trim or a ceiling trim or cornice that goes up at the top. That's essentially a profile or a shape that essentially gets extruded through or along the wall. Now, creating a wall sweep is pretty simple and straightforward, or I should say, actually doing the command of a wall sweep. We're going to go up to the Architecture tab and then Wall, click on the pull down, and at the bottom we have Wall Sweep. Now, by default, we only have one wall sweep, which is the cornice. And you'll notice that when I move my cursor along a wall, we see it, right? There's the cornice. And all we really have to do is place it. Now I'm in 3D view. I actually prefer doing this in 2D. But you'll notice that the placement is a little bit lower. And I can't really get it to the top there. So typically with wall sweeps, I'll usually just kind of click to place it. You have to zoom in, zoom out. And then I'll select it, and then I'll use the move tool to place it where I want it to. And it's that simple, right? We can come inside here and take a look, and there's our the ceiling cornice. So that's kind of the idea of a wall sweep, right? It's this profile that goes along the wall. What I really want to spend more time in is creating our own profile, because you'll notice that when we do a wall sweep, we really only get one option. Okay, it's just a cornice, and that's what it is. So let's go ahead and create our own profile. The way we're going to do that is by creating a family. Now, we've talked about families in the past when it came to creating a table family and a door. So creating a profile is going to be very similar, just way less time consuming. Okay. So we're just going to go up to File, New, click on the triangle, and not project. We're going to create a family. It's going to take us into the template file. And this is, if you remember the tutorial, we have to select a template file that kind of pertains to what it is that we're building. In the previous tutorials, we used a door or we used furniture, but in this tutorial, we're going to select profile. Okay, so I'll select profile. I'll hit open. And it's going to take me into the standard family template file. We have our reference planes, but essentially what this family is going to do is take whatever shape we create, and then it'll take that shape and it'll extrude it. So all we need to do is create that shape or that profile. And we place that profile in the positive quadrant, right? Which is the top right quadrant over here, with the understanding that the insertion point or the corner is right where this vertical and the horizontal meet. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw a profile using, I'm in the Create tab and then go over to Line. I usually like to box out my profile first. So I'll use the rectangle, click at the intersection point, and I'm going to go maybe 2 inches by 4 inches. Okay. So this profile is not good. I want this profile to kind of stay within these parameters. Then I'll go back to the Create, use the Line tool. And this is actually when a good opportunity for you to play around with some of the draw tools, specifically the arcs. It does take a little time to get used to these. So, it's just practice. And I'm going to actually just really quickly make a profile. Let's go do that. Like that. Maybe we switch it up and we use this. copy this one over here. Oh no, let's go back. And what happened? Go ahead and just click. And I don't know, maybe we just go straight down. Now I'm really just quickly making a profile. You could spend a lot more time in creating your own intricate profile. This really isn't a good profile, so don't judge me on the design of it. But we're going to go ahead and just keep this one going. I'm going to delete the areas that I don't need, and I'll use the trim extents to kind of merge these. Click there and there. The one thing is that the profile does need to be a continuous set of line where all of the lines are joined at the endpoints, right? Because this is going to be an extrusion. But once I'm done, I'm going to actually, before I do anything, I need to tell Revit what kind of profile this is for. Now we're going to go over here to the left-hand side where it says profile usage. And this is also a good opportunity to explain that this profile template can be used for any of these. So like a gutter, a fascia board, the mullions, railing. So like your handrails, if the default one is that circle or that 1 inch by 1 inch rectangle, but if you want to come up with your own railing profile, you could do that here, create the profile, and then just select railing. If you want to do a reveal, the stair nosing, right? If you remember in the advanced stair tutorial, we talked about adjusting the nose of the stair. Well, we could set the profile for stair nosing here. So this profile family, or this setting up a profile, is going to be very similar, or it's going to be the same process if you're trying to create the profile for any other kind of, I don't know, family generic 3D profile that's needed within Revit. Okay, so it's very common. I'm going to use it as a wall sweep, and then I'll go ahead and save the file. So I'm going to do save, and then find the location of where you want to save this. I'm going to go ahead and just save it on my desktop. Let's name this wall sweep 1. I'll hit save. Now, similar to our doors and family table, what we ended up doing was copying that file and then placing it inside the actual database within Revit. So we'll go ahead and do that. But I saved the file. I could go ahead and just close it. Technically, we could actually go ahead and press load into project and close. What this button will do is it'll load it into the project that you already have open within Revit, and it'll close this file for us, right? That's the easier thing to do. But what I want to do is show you how to go about importing a profile. So let's go ahead and exit out of here and just importing profile just in case you forget to hit that load and close. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get started with the wall sweep. We'll go wall sweep, and where we go into choose the cornice, we would go into edit type, and it's the same process. We're going to duplicate, but this time we're going to call this wall sweep, and I forget what I called sweep 1, I believe. Okay, so I'll hit OK. And then over here this is where we would select the profile, but our profile currently is not added in. Okay, so let's just hit apply so that we have the actual profile type set up. Hit apply, and then OK. And we're going to go into the insert tab. So it's very similar to the way we would insert any other family like the doors or the tables that we've done in the past. We'll go into load family. And this is where we would copy. So there's wall sweep. And now I'm going to hit Control C on the keyboard. Okay. And I'm going to hit cancel. Okay, so Control C or Command C. Well, no, Control C um, is is the shortcut key to copy. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go into architecture, and I'll just kind of go in to add a door and then select load family. What I really want, uh-oh, that's not what I really want. Okay, give me 1 minute. Hmm. What I really wanted was to be able to take me straight into the family folders. So give me 1 minute to actually locate that. That's going to take me a minute here. Hold on. So luckily on the left-hand side here, we have the shortcut. So we kind of saved myself here. So I'll go into Imperial, okay? And this is the folders, right? Where we go in and select the doors or windows, things like that. Oh, we have one folder called Profiles. So I'm going to double click inside there. I'm going to go into Wall. And then I'll go ahead and hit Control V to paste. And now there's my wall sweep one. So again, the reason why I do that is because now the wall sweep is within the actual Imperial library within Revit. And so that I don't have to keep going, let's say a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, I know that my wall sweep is going to be inside the wall profiles where it needs to be. And I'm not spending time hunting it down and saying, well, where did I save it? Was it in my documents folder? Was it on desktop? Where was that thing? This way it keeps everything organized. So I'm going to go ahead and select wall sweep one, and I'm going to hit open. Okay. So now we'll go back to our wall. We'll select wall sweep. We now already have the sweep ones created, and we're just going to, it's taking this so long. Let's see, let's hit escape here. We might have to do this one more time. Okay, well, let's just do one more time. We'll edit type. Let's duplicate. Wall sweep. Let's just call this new. And in the profile, we click on the profile, and there's our wall sweep one. I'll hit apply and OK. And now we have our wall sweep. I'm going to go ahead and just place it inside here for, oh, well, let's put it on the base. And now there is my base molding. Not the prettiest, again, don't judge me. But that's how we would create our wall base molding. Okay. Now there's also one other really cool thing that we could do here, and it's kind of like a wall paneling system. So we could use our in-place modeling to actually lay out our own path. And this is also what we would do. Notice how right now the molding went through the entire wall, which is probably not what we want. So we can actually select add or remove walls. And it gets a little tricky to do so. It sometimes doesn't really work the way we want it to work, though. So if I click on it and enter, oh, nope. Let's see, you could modify the, let's add, remove, click, and again, enter. Yep, see, it doesn't want to do it, which is common. So one other thing that we can do instead of just having it run through the entire wall is we could specify a path. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete this. I'm going to go into my component, so architecture tab, component, and click on the pull down. And now we have a model in place. Okay, so I'll click on model in place, and it's going to ask me, well, what kind of family do I want to model in place? And I'm going to go down to a wall because we're going to add the profile onto a wall. So I'll hit OK, and let's call this, let's just call it trim. I'll select OK. Now, when we've gotten into families up until now, a lot of it has been either extrusions or voids. And I've said that that's going to be, 90-95% of what we do in families is pretty much extrusion and voids. This is one exception where we're actually going to select sweeps. Okay. So I'm going to select sweep and I'm going to select sketch a path. So once I have sketch a path, I could use the line tool. This is better drawn in section or in a straight section. Oh, I have to set my work plane. So I'll hit close. So let's go ahead and set our work plane. And from the previous tutorial, pick a plane. You'll note that it's really difficult to actually just click on it on a 2D drawing. So let's go to the 3D and let's kind of make sure we click on the correct plane. That's the one, section 2. Let's make sure, let's click on show. There we go. That's how we know that it was drawn in the same, or that we selected the correct plane. So now I'll use the line tool and I can go ahead and just specify this one room. So I'll draw that line. Okay, once I'm done sketching, I'll hit the check mark. Now we could go to the 3D view, and this is kind of helpful. It's actually helpful to go to the 3D view because now that we have that profile or the path, we can select the profile. Let's go looking for it. It's probably, there it is, wall sweep. And then what we want to do is take a look at it, right? And it's not in the direction that we want it to be. So what we can do is turn it 90 degrees or turn it however many degrees we need it to. In this case, we just needed to go up. And we turn it, we actually rotate it by clicking on this angle here. So I'm going to rotate this 90. Okay. Oh, I take that back. I'm going to have to rotate this, let's see, 180. Nope, let's go 270. There we go. Except it's facing the wrong direction. So then we can go ahead and just flip it. Okay, and now there's that profile. And once we're done, we'll hit the check mark. And there we have our base molding trim. Now, the other really kind of cool thing that we could do is kind of a wall profile. So, or kind of like a wall paneling. Let's go ahead and finish the model, sorry. So now it's there. Let's go ahead and follow those same steps. Okay, we'll go into component and model in place. We're going to do the same thing, wall. If I can find it, there we go. And this time, let's call it wall paneling. Paneling. And we're going to do a sweep. And we're going to do sketch path. And we have to set the work plane, so I'll hit OK. Let's go to the 3D view and make sure we select the correct work plane. There we go. You do have to kind of move the mouse around until you finally get the work plane that you want. Let's go back to that section. And I'm going to draw a rectangle. So the idea is if by drawing a line, I can get that profile, well, then can I draw a shape and kind of bring that profile or sweep that profile around that shape? So what I'm going to do here is create a rectangle. I'm going to align it to my window right there and there. Let's go ahead and move this. Let's move this, I don't know, 2 feet from the window, and let's make this 2 feet 6 inches. And I'm going to do another rectangle at the bottom. I'll go ahead and select this. Let's change this to say, I don't know, what does 6 inches look like? Nope, not 6 feet. Sure, why not? And then the top part, Let's make this 6 inches, just like that. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have to do this. I take this back. We're gonna have to do this twice. So let me go ahead and select this and delete it. Actually, you know what? Since it's already drawn, let me copy it. So Control C to copy and then delete it. So remember, we are in sketch mode. And what's one of the rules within sketch mode? I've said it so many times. We have to have one continuous path. I can't have multiple continuous paths. And that's why this little rectangle here wouldn't have worked. So let's go ahead and let's go into the 3D view. And let's click the check mark to complete the profile. Sorry, the sketch. And now let's go ahead and bring in the profile. And so we can do, you know what, instead of typing 270, let's type -90. There we go. And then flip it. And maybe we want it, well, let's see what this one looks like. You know what, I take this back. Let's put it on the inside because if we put it on the outside, it's going to run into the rectangle at the bottom. So let's go ahead and maybe go 180. Nope, I should have done 90 and then flipped it. That's what we want. I'll hit the check mark. And there we go. I'm going to finish model. Okay. And then I'm going to go through this one more time. Hopefully this time I'll go faster. Sorry, component, model in place. Not so fast, huh? Let's scroll down. Walls, okay. And let's call this paneling lower. We'll hit okay. Let's go into sweep. Let's set our work plane. Pick a plane. Come on. There we go. Let's hit. Did it not click? I think I clicked on it. Let's check. I guess not. We'll hit OK. Let's try this one more time. Section 2, open view. There we go. Perfect. Now let's see if we can Control V. And there it is. It's right where we wanted it to be. No, but it didn't place it. Huh. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and trace over it. We'll go ahead and draw a rectangle. Why is that? You know what? When in doubt, let's just hit the X. Let's cancel. Yes. And let's just start over. We'll go to create, sweep. Let's go ahead and set the work plane again. Hit open view. Let's go back to the section. And let's draw this rectangle. Now, I'm not sure why it's coming in gray, but it is. Let me go, let's see. Oh, I know. Duh, we need to hit sketch path. That's what I get for trying to go fast. Let's hit the rectangle. Oh, this rectangle there's going to throw me off. All right, let's go there. Let's hit a line. I'm a little concerned with that previous rectangle, but we'll go ahead and adjust it as needed. So let's go ahead and adjust this. 6 inches. And we'll bring this one down to the floor here. And I believe this was also going to be 6 inches. Okay. Let's hit the check mark. Let's go to the 3D view. Let's select the profile and wall sweep. And we're going to go 90. And I think that's it. So we'll hit check mark. And there we have it. We'll go ahead and finish model. And now I can go ahead and select both of these, copy, and maybe we'll copy them. I don't know. Let's go 4 feet. And so I could take both of these and copy them like that. And we'll probably do one more round. Let's do one more. There we go. And so now we have this wall paneling kind of detail on the wall. So we're using the profile to create the sweep, to create this kind of effect. So I apologize for the kind of setbacks, but that's actually the reality of working with any 3D modeling or any software. You just have to kind of learn to navigate your way out of it. But this, in a nutshell, is how to use the wall sweeps. And really, more than anything, how to create these profiles that can be utilized for sweeps, or we could utilize them for railings. We could utilize them for the stair nosing, fascia boards, gutters, all sorts of things. So hopefully you find this to be helpful. Okay.